Ich frage mich gerade, ob ich das Video schon beim letzten Mal eingeblendet habe, weil wenn nicht, dann werde ich das ja jetzt machen müssen. I said my thanks, accepted her card and exited the hotel. When I stepped out, I found a tram stop in the corner across the road, just like the lady said. But first I turned right and headed into the newsagent. Halt. Uhr sagt... Ja, ich erkenne es so schlecht in dem Licht. Ah, 17:46? Ah ja, gut, kann hinhauen. Gut, dann machen wir bis 5 nach. Ne? Oh, wer ist das denn? Das sieht cool aus. Vorder Team. Überall sieht man hier nur so Anime-Typis rumlaufen. Dabei ist das hier doch, nicht so Japan-mäßig wie sie. Ah, aber der Typ hat auch dieselben Augen wie sie. Cool. Vielleicht wären sie Friends. Local man makes grim discovery. Aha. Aber das hier könnte eventuell ein Spoiler sein? Erinnert mich an was. Okay. Das finde ich halt so cool, wenn man Spiele durchspielt zum zweiten Mal. Genau wie wenn man Bücher liest oder Filme schaut. Immer wieder fällt irgendwas auf, was auf spätere Dinge hinweist. Vor allem derselbe Mund wie hier. Okay. The shopkeeper snored on his feet behind the counter. All the other shops on the street were still closed, so I guess he should be forgiven. I tiptoed up to the counter, trying to let this guy nap for just a few extra seconds. Excuse me? The man continued to tilt his head toward the side. I felt conflicted about whether to feel annoyed or be impressed that he could snooze while standing. Ich würde eher das zweite nehmen. I shifted a birthday card's display up to his side, hoping he would nudge into it and wake up. The man swerved and bumped into the stand, causing those cards to spill all over the floor. Okay, also er ist zur Seite umgefallen. Sorry, I shuddered. I just wanted to wake you up. The man yawned, letting me smell his morning breath. It's the third time this week, don't worry about it. Oh. I waved the Mikey card in my hand. Can I top this up here? Just enough for a few tram rides. 20 bucks should do it. 20 sind aber relativ viel dafür. I pulled out my wallet and handed him a $20 note along with my card. The man pressed my card against the scanner on his table and it made a beep. There you go. He dropped the card back onto my hand. I checked both sides of the card as if expecting some sort of number to show up. The plastic card showed no change whatsoever, which meant I must place my trust in this half-asleep guy. Might as well be going for a skydive with the parachute given to a monkey. So what will happen if I have insufficient funds when I get off a tram? I asked. The man answered with his snores as he had fallen asleep once again. Oh, forget it. I left the store, crossed the road and waited at the tram stop. Beside me stood a chemist store that had yet to open. I checked out some of the Sunny's displays behind the sky. If I bought a pair, could I look as big time as Exilia? Also, sie denkt, mit einer Brille würde es ihr auch helfen. I heard a honk behind me and I spun around to see an oncoming tram scaring away a flock of pigeons. Good thing those birds had forced the driver to honk or I might have missed this ride. Achso, honk ist sowas wie hupen. Habe ich mir selber abgeleitet. I waved at the tram and it slowed to a halt. Halt? Immer dieser... Ich kann mir vorstellen, dass es wieder sowas ist, was in den Sprachen übernommen wurde. Next to my stop. Once again I had to skip across half a traffic lane in order to board. Unlike that free CBD tram from yesterday, this one required me to tap on with the Mikey card. Trying out new things in public never failed to make me sweat, as I felt like everyone had their eyes on me. There was a scanner positioned next to the door. So let's give this a shot. I pulled the Mikey card out of my wallet so fast I almost fumbled it. After pressing my card against the scanner, a green dot lit up on the panel. This should mean I was in the clear then. I exhaled in relief and put the card back into my wallet. When I gazed up at the passengers to show them my achievement, I realized none of them were even looking at me. Oh. The clock had yet to hit 9, so I never imagined these carriages would already be so full. This tram was heading for the city, so I guessed it made sense. From the outside... Hello. Yeah, Adele. These carriages looked so stable, but now that I was standing inside, I needed to grab a handrail just to stay upright. Ja, ich glaube, auf YouTube bin ich noch nicht so weit, um zu singen. Irgendwann, Leute. Irgendwann werde ich mal ganz viel singen. Die Schweißperlen, die Augen, zusammengekniffene Stirn und die Nase. Oh. Okay, nein, ich gehöre nicht zu diesen Leuten, die immer sagen, Illuminati. Oh. Meanwhile, a guy beside me was eating his kiwi with a spoon while standing. He must be a local veteran, being able to stay balanced under this kind of condition and all. The tram still had several vacant seats, but there were quite a few elderly passengers on board, so I decided to spare the chairs for those who needed them most. Riding on that CVD tram from yesterday felt like a trip to the past. The green and yellow model without a speck of dust in the carriages resembled a plastic garden to me. Once every minute or so the tram would stop to let passengers board and alight. The frequent pauses made me wonder if I would be better walking, verdammt, wenn es nicht besser wäre zu laufen. Ja. Of course it was only an illusion. Within minutes we already crossed a bridge that had scared me so much last night. The tram rounded a tight bend, causing me to lose my balance and bump into a girl who had just finished her tapping her card against the scanner. Oh, Vinty. The girl turned out to be Exilia. I had almost failed to recognize her in those gym clothes. Her gym shirt and bicycle shorts revealed to me how much more feminine she looked than I did. Ah, da sind wieder die Sparkles. Ach man, Bestes im Spiel. I caught some of the nearby men stealing peeks at her chest and bottom. Well, I had the curves of a tree trunk, so I never had to worry about being checked out like that. Exilia had sweat seeping out of her forehead and arms, yet she still smelled as nice as the shampoo I had used last night. The sparkles around her continued to flash as always. In fact, the tram driver put on his sunnies to block her out. I wanted to confront Exilia about what happened on Reddit, but her big, glittering eyes melted away my anger. To begin with, I was the one who had hassled her into promoting me. Faulting others would only make me sink lower. A couple of passengers came walking toward us from the rear end of our carriage. Their eyes were on Exilia the whole time, of course. They looked out their phones, but Exilia waved her hands to indicate... to indicate no photos allowed. The duo limped away with their hands hanging between their slumped shoulders. Must be tough without your guards around, I said, trying to hide the sarcasm and jealousy in my voice. Exilia scratched her head, looking a little embarrassed. I like to be alone when I work out, you know, it's nice to live like a common folk once in a while. I gazed into Exilia's eyes to see if she had meant for those words to be condescending. She blinked at me, looking as innocent as a newborn sleeping next to a puppy. Ist auch noch wichtig, dass das Neugeborene neben dem Hündchen liegt, das macht's noch süßer, natürlich. Seriously, with a tongue that sharp, Exilia might as well be feeding me poo coated in chocolate. This must be why some celebrities hired advisors to keep their mouths and keyboards in check. Exilia could sure use one of those people. Maybe I should ask if she was hiring. Still, I got to witness Exilia's work ethic firsthand, exercising while on the road and all. If I spent my time running instead of envying, maybe I too could have a figure like hers in like 5 or 10 years. Good luck in your show this RFO. Is this supposed to be afternoon? I said, I'll be there to watch. Oh, thank you, I hope you have fun, Exilia said, grinning once again without showing her teeth. Thinking about it, I had never seen her teeth in any of the posters or commercials she appeared in. Maybe she had braces on or something. Wasn't braces? Well, I'm going there to learn, not to have fun, I said, puffing my chest out a little. For just a moment I swore Exilia's eyes narrowed into a glare, but her usual smile returned before I had time to react. I gazed out the window and recognized some of the tall buildings we passed. This tram had taken me back into the city in under 30 minutes. A male announcer spoke through the speakers and said something about us arriving in the free tram zone. Exilia pulled a sweaty Mikey card from her pocket and tapped it against the scanner. Quite a few other passengers began to tap their cards as well. Maybe trams in the CBD were free then. I followed suit, almost dropping my card from the nervousness. Heißt das, also so wie ich das jetzt rausverstanden habe, man legt die Karte einmal drauf und ab da wird die Zeit berechnet. Das ist quasi wie beim Taxifahren von Punkt A zu Punkt B in einer Strecke. Und wenn ich sie dann nochmal drauflege, dann wird wieder aufgehört, diesen Beitrag abzuziehen. Also das ist nicht so, dass man legt es einmal drauf und es wird eine Summe abgewiesen, sondern man legt es drauf und legt es dann nochmal drauf, um dann wieder aufzuhören. Ja, interessant. Exilia seemed to know what she was doing no matter where she went. Knowing her, I bet she had been invited to visit Melbourne many times before. Exilia pressed the stop button on the handrail and the tram parked behind a traffic light before opening its doors. I'll see you soon, Vinty. Exilia gave me a light bow before exiting the carriage. She probably had a 5-star hotel booked in the city somewhere. Okay, Ursache, wir können noch. I alighted the tram several stops later to buy breakfast from a convenience store. No better way to begin the day than eating a cold sandwich with egg that tasted like it had expired 3 days ago. When I exited the store, 2 trams crossed paths in front of me. The drivers exchanged nods with one another. With so many trams around, I wondered if the drivers had to greet every colleague they saw. I pulled out my paper map, which looked more creased up than it did yesterday. Some of its edges had even been chipped off. No, I might be stingy in food, but not quite to a level where I would eat paper. The pieces must have fallen into my backpack somewhere. As I chewed on my sandwich, I scanned the map for my destination, Federation Square. A 10-minute stroll from Collins Street, which was where I stood right now. I put away my map and started to walk. Naja, nicht, dass aus 10 Minuten wieder eine Stunde wird. Ah, das Bild von dem Main Menu, vom Titel und auch der Ort, wo das stattfinden wird. Right as I finished my sandwich, Federation Square appeared into view opposite a pedestrian crossing. A spacious plaza perfect for showcasing calligraphy. Vielleicht kommen wir ja heute sogar noch so weit. Demnächst wird's auf jeden Fall spannend. Calligraphers had already begun to gather around the square. A good few of them were taking photos of Flinders Street station located across the road. Even without doing a head count, I could tell there was well over 100 calligraphers here. Das klingt aber gar nicht wirklich so Krass, oder? Also irgendwie ist diese Welt hier nur auf Kalligraphie aus, als wenn hier Kalligraphisten das Beste wären. Aber irgendwie ist es dann wieder so ein kleiner Kreis. Es ist irgendwie seltsam, wie diese Welt aufgebaut ist. I just hope none of them would recognize me. Horse carriages formed a line on the road opposite Federation Square. Were these carriages for hire? Riding on one seemed fun, but that would have to wait for another time. I crossed the road and joined the other calligraphers at Federation Square. On the far side stood a couple of designer buildings, but the crowd had blocked my view of them. This guy standing next to me was on the phone and said something like, "Yeah, I'm on Fed Square." That must be what the locals call this place. Maybe I should start saying that as well to blend in. Those girls from the Skydeck yesterday sat on the steps, no doubt complaining to each other about life again. One of them glanced up during their chatter. Our eyes met for a moment, yet her expression showed no change. She must have already erased my face from her memory. Fine by me. Das muss ich mir mal merken. Wenn ich... Schon manchmal würde ich auch sagen, für mich wäre das okay. Jetzt könnte ich da sagen, fine by me. Okay. A man in a dark suit and red tie walked up to me. "Are you a calligrapher?" I nodded and he handed me a brush along with some ink, followed by a roll of parchment. Exilia is scheduled to arrive at midday. He said. Until then, all calligraphers are invited to showcase their works around the plaza. For a moment I had hoped this guy might have been an agent who was scouting me as a potential talent. Dreams would always be dreams. Several other event staff issued this same gear to the other attendees. Nothing special at all about me, in their words. In other words. Verdammt, wieso lese ich so schlecht? One by one the calligraphers unrolled their parchments along the concrete, dropped onto their knees and got to work. Some of the calligraphers took out their phones and snapped photos of their blank canvas. I bet they would post these pictures on social media and talk all big like they had already made it. In a corner a girl was tracing some sights in the air with her fingers and mumbling to herself. Must be a ritual of some sort. Meanwhile another man sank onto his knees above the stairs, slapping his palms together in a praying position. I guess he was channeling strength from the calligraphy gods. The staff had set up barricades to reserve a circle of space in the plaza. This must be for Exilia when she showed up. The staff had saved her more room than the rest of us combined. I peeked at other people's works as I straightened my parchment across the ground. These guys might be weird, but once they put ink to paper, their strokes looked quite refined. As I put down my backpack, I lowered onto my knees. I wondered if I should draw a star in the air. Without any rituals, I felt as dull as a pack of original flavored chips. Sorry to the original fans out there. My fingers trembled as I dipped my brush into the ink container. This was the first time I performed in public after all. When I walked alone in my room, I held my chin high like I had no equal. Now I felt like everyone had their eyes on me, waiting to catch a mistake so they could laugh in my face. To my side sat a boy with his parents standing beside him. He too had a brush in hands, but he had dipped in too much ink, causing half of his page to turn black. With a slip of the hand, the boy painted a stroke across the pavement. Those poor parents bowed frantically at the event staff while their kid giggled at the chaos he had caused. Well, I knew I had more skills than at least one person in here. I wiped some sweat off my brows, feeling a little relieved. Great, so I would even use this innocent child for a moral boost. It usually took me around an hour to complete a piece of calligraphy. Today I needed the same amount of time just to paint one stroke. No way could I allow myself to mess up in public. Fat Square was a tourist attraction, and as afternoon approached, more and more people started to show up. These tourists loitered around the plaza, eyeing our works with their arms either folded or locked behind their backs. I felt like a child having her homework critiqued by a teacher. Once in a while I would point my brush toward the sun, trying to look all artisty. Whenever someone walked by, I would stand up and stroke my chin, acting like some sort of master. 3 hours passed and I at last finished my piece. Just as I completed my final stroke, the plaza erupted into whistles and applause. Oh, had these people finally recognized my greatness? The crowd separated, forming a lane for Exilia and her 2 guards to walk through. Should have known these people would never cheer for me for the likes of me. Having a side, I too joined in with the crowd. Ah ja, es ist schon 7. Okay, gut. Dann würde ich sagen, war's das erstmal. Exilia ist jetzt angekommen. Ne, halt. Return. Save. Da. Okay. Dann muss ich ja wieder einige Links raussuchen. Naja, gut. Beim nächsten Mal wird's auf jeden Fall spannend. Wenn ihr das hier gesehen habt, schaut die nächste auch an. Ist seltsam. Es hat relativ lange gedauert. Das Spiel ist bald vorbei, keine Sorge. Es hat relativ lange gedauert, bis mal wirkliche Spannung kommt. Aber die kommt jetzt. Gut. Danke fürs Zusehen.